Hello, Ruben. Thank you very much for joining us here on the USHBA candidate review. It's a pleasure to have you. For those that don't know you, could you tell a little bit about yourself and how you got to the hemp space?
Yeah, absolutely. It all started pretty much with S2A. That's the modular company that I work for, and we got introduced to a hemp engineer, and he introduced us to different hemp building materials. And our company, they flew me out to Ketchum, Idaho, to meet a lot of these different hemp building material vendors because we wanted to incorporate hemp in our homes. So that's how I came into the hemp space. But as far as my background, it all started in construction, from residential, commercial to mega structures, working in the hydroelectric dam projects and bridges with Kiewit Pacific, one of the biggest construction companies in the world. Um, but you know, from construction, it led to real estate, and from real estate, it led to development, and from there, it worked all the way up to rolling development to S2A. And it's a very awesome, unique story on how we got to where we're at. But hemp is where we're at. That's what we want to do, and we want to implement as much hemp building materials as possible in our homes.
Absolutely. No, it's very good to come from a construction background, especially having worked on the residential all the way up to mega structures, as you said, that it's important to have each step along the chain and really know what each kind of structure really takes to build, especially if you're going to be implementing new green building techniques and technologies. So, what do you think would make you a great board member?
Well, I'm honored that Don reached out to me and asked me to participate in running for a director and a board of directors. I'm sorry. And I would have to say my construction background really helps out a lot. You can kind of see and incorporate how hemp can fit into a home. We know how it's traditionally built, but having hemp in a different like a hemp hurd, an insulation, a stucco, an interior finish. It's good to have that background and just to know how homes are built, multifamily or just single one-offs. And just being in real estate for pretty much all my life, that's the business side of things that really help when it comes to getting projects like these off the floor. And from real estate to development, understanding everything on entitlement and what needs to be done, acquiring land, the acquisition process, and knowing where to buy, and everything that needs to be in place. It's just an all-around knowledge of knowing what we need to do to know in order to make a project happen, and where we go. And there's a lot of attributes for myself and S2A where we want to go with this. We want to be able to eventually get to smart cities and huge communities that are all net zero. So, and also incorporate hemp. So,
Absolutely, yeah. It's very very important to be able to bring in the understand how to finance things and understand how to get all the titling and everything done. Because I mean, if we didn't have the permits in place, then the building's not going to get off the ground. And so, if you were to envision in say the next 5 years where the U.S. hemp construction market is going to be, where do you think it's going to be, and what do you think the road looks like to get there?
well, this is where I envision it because I've been doing a lot of research and talking to a lot of people, and there's there's a buzz going on, and it's in the hemp industry. And for right now, it's still in its inception. It's taking off. There's been companies that are operating in a smaller scale, and there isn't anything that is in a large scale. And it's there's been companies that have already moved forward. They've tried and they've failed. So it's really good to be able to have the correct management team in place, the best decisions, and really critiquing it on how you can get these hemp building materials at the lowest cost. And that's going to take collaboration. That's going to take a lot of efforts with different partners that own land, other people that are going to be part of the management team. They're going to add their skill set to make it happen. And as far as hemp, I see that there's going to be many hands that are going to get into hemp, and there's going to be a lot of partnerships. But I see it where we still have time to go until it gets more mainstream. And during that time is where we're at. We're all pioneers, and that's my opinion on where I feel that hemp's going. it's just a matter of time before it gets more well known, and it's going to be available, at stores for, building products for your homes and what you have it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the Candidate Review. It's a pleasure to have you, and I wish you the best of luck to becoming a board member and continuing this industry forward. It's exciting to see where it's going to be going in the next 5 years and even 10, 15 years down the road.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds great. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate the interview.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day, Ruben.
Okay, thank you, Aiden. Okay, bye bye.